This is the Alterac Valley battleground, a 40 against 40 PvP match between the Alliance and the Horde. The battleground is won by the faction that kills the enemy faction leader first, or by reducing the opponent's reinforcements to 0, which can be done in various ways. When the battleground was first introduced in the original version of the game, there were tales of this battleground taking multiple hours, sometimes even days to complete, which made for memorable battles. Nowadays, however, the battleground is mostly played out as a race, or so-called Cirque, to finish, where players of each faction ignore each other and rush to the enemy base as fast as possible. Some people attribute this gameplay to players of recent times being more focused on honor gains and therefore using the strategy that yields the most honor, which is not wrong by any means. The main reason as to why the battleground played out differently back then compared to now lies in how the battleground was built up in those early days. In this video we will explore content that was removed from the battleground before patch 1.12 and therefore can't be found in Classic WoW. Firstly, the landmines that used to lie on both Alliance and Horde side of the map, which would ensure that players did not skip past guards and go straight for the opposing faction leader. These mines would only trigger if an enemy ran into them and were invisible to enemy players but visible to friendly players, which made it possible to kite attacking opponents into them and thereby killing them. In terms of effectiveness, they actually hit very hard and would generally do 1,500 damage, which meant that anyone running into a field of them would die pretty much immediately. They generally weren't located on the road, so if you followed a trail, you would mostly avoid them. Secondly, the NPCs that were removed from this battleground. The most notable removed NPCs were the trolls of the Winteraxe tribe that used to reside in the middle of the battleground, guarding the Snowfall graveyard from both Horde and Alliance players. Their leader Korak would spawn in the middle of the battleground and had some quests tied to him. There were also other NPCs such as the members of the Syndicate as well as Gnolls and Yetis that players could kill. These were the first assets of Alterac Valley that were removed back in patch 1.8. Overall, there were more elite NPCs scattered around the battleground guarding each side, whereas now most guard NPCs are located on graveyard flags or inside towers. What a lot of people don't know is that there used to be a combat vehicle, somewhat like what is used in Wintergrasp in Wrath of the Lich King expansion. This was obtainable from a quest that you would find on the Snowfall graveyard. To complete the quest, players had to gather a ton of mining goods as well as an item found within the battleground itself. This would enable players to take control of a Shredder vehicle, which had a decently strong auto attack and a fast swing timer, as well as a cleave and a fire breath ability. The fire breath ability was unique in that it would actually do durability damage to the target's chest piece, meaning that players would have to repair frequently if the opponents were using these shredders. Another thing that probably didn't really affect the gameplay of the battleground, but is still worth mentioning, is that there used to be a lot of herbs and mining nodes located within the Alterac Valley. While it is understandable that Blizzard had to do something to shorten the battles, it would have been interesting to try playing Alterac Valley again in its original form. I hope you learned something new and that you liked this video, and thank you for watching.